Hi everyone, it's Erkan here with Mark Neild. We're at our Central London meeting down by the River Thames on Shad Thames, and Mark has just delivered his Known Be Known session on innovation. What was the exact title?
It's Innovate with Impact.
Innovate with Impact. And actually you threw some curveballs, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah? Actually, before we get into that, you shared some bit about your past and your past experience. And one bit you talked about was your time in the Royal Navy. Is that right?
That's
so
right.
Just kind of get an idea who this guy is, because it was actually kind of got me. I didn't know anything about that. So do you want to just kind of give us a little snippet?
15 years in the Navy, joined from the age of 17. So could I do it again now? Probably. If I was 17 again, I'd love to. I had a brilliant time.
Yeah.
It was probably the best thing for me. I was a little shy, retiring kid at 17. Couldn't say boo to a goose. After I'd been flying for a bit, I didn't have any choice. I was out there.
Yeah. So you were actually flying at the time?
I was flying, the helicopters. These crazy helicopters with this huge radar strapped to the side of them. But you couldn't land without it. You had to lift the whole thing up before you landed, because it was just a...
And you're saying, I think the premise was obviously about innovation and how long it takes to bring a product into something like the military. It takes 10, 15 years.
Yes.
And you said over a period of
3 months.
3 months, 12 weeks, you literally designed a helicopter and got it into action.
I can't claim credit for it.
Not you personally,
no,
but
as
a concept.
But it was done.
Yeah.
And it was done because there was a need. So all the committees went out the window. All the should we do this? Wouldn't it be lovely if? All the the usual bollocks that's done with committee delivered innovation. Sorry, is that
That's
rude?
fine. That's fine. So when we really think about innovating, people fall into the trap of three areas, don't they?
Yes.
They kind of often think innovation is what?
Well,
What is it not in terms of the way you're defining it?
Well, I think the thing is we're all really, really good at problem solving, and so we leap into solving the problem, but we don't take the time to think, well, actually, what is the problem? And so we end up solving a problem that doesn't need solving, and then when we take it to the customers, they say,
Not that great. Not that interesting.
Because at the end of the day, innovation's about customers adopting new ways of doing things, and anything you do that's different takes a bit of effort. And the question is, am I prepared to put in the effort to do this new stuff? And there's got to be something in it for me. And if there's nothing in it for me, I'm just going to find any excuse not to do it.
So we've got to show our customers that you've as business owners or service providers or product developers,
yes,
any of those, that we've got something that will solve a problem. Even if they don't know they have it, they know there's something they want.
Yes.
Well, no, I think we define the difference between the problem and the solution as in the product.
Yes.
Because you may not know what the product might be, but you know that you want to get somewhere, you want to be able to do things, but you haven't identified how that's going to happen.
So what I talk about is a customer outcome.
Yeah.
Most customers would know that they wished they could do something, they wished they didn't have to do something, or they wished that the way they do their everyday business could be so much simpler.
Yeah.
These are the typical areas where there's opportunities.
Right.
And if you can find one of those opportunities, and you can demonstrate to your customers, clients, call it what you will, do you know what, I'm going to take away that big piece of muck that you've got there and make it so much easier for you. So you don't, well, when can I have it?
Yeah.
And you even get to the point where customers will say, I will work with you to develop it. I want it so much, I don't care if it's not there yet. You partner with me. You don't need to get funding.
You don't have to
we'll
sell
make
that.
this thing
You'll
work.
make it happen.
Yeah. I love it. I want it. I need it now.
So what I got from your presentation there was like a methodology in thinking.
Yes.
And what it was, I think you really quashed this idea of creative, blue sky, out of the box thinking. There's actually all I'm not saying you said this, but almost like a diversion.
It is a diversion. I call it a distraction, but same thing.
Yeah. It actually, blue sky diffuses your thinking, and then I suppose thinking outside the box is, well, what's the box?
Yes.
Because you've got to identify what I don't really like those two terms either.
No, I don't either. What I'm saying is, don't think outside the box. Think in the right box. What I talked about is the what box and the how box.
Yeah.
The how box is what we do. We solve problems, and we think that the problem is predefined, and all we're worrying about is the problem itself, and that massively constrains our thinking.
So I've got $1 million question, right? Because
Yeah.
Jill and I have been asking ourselves this, and the accomplices. Does B collaborate? And I don't want you to put any punches here, because obviously you're a member, but I'm not looking for like a nice softy feedy. I want the answer you would give.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'd expect nothing less. Is what problem are we really solving? Do we have a perceived problem?
I think the problem that we are solving is ingrained attitudes. That's what we're trying to solve, but I think we're a little bit... We haven't really worked out exactly which attitudes. Well, we have, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
do you think we've got too many things we're trying to solve?
Well, I think we have. The way I talk about this is in terms of an outcome. If we could imagine, B-Collaboration has run its course, we're amazingly successful. What outcome have we delivered? What single outcome have we got to show for it? If we can work out what that outcome is, then we can put all of our energies into heading for that outcome. We may get to it that way, we may get to it that way, we may get to it that way. It doesn't matter. If that outcome is worth achieving, we'll find a way of getting there.
I mean, for me, the outcome, if I was going to... And again, it's broad and it's many other things as well, is to make a difference to the planet and to make a difference to each other, i.e. impact our experience of what it is to be a human being, feel effective in areas that are important to us, where we say, well, I mean, one of the metaphors I use about big collaboration and this journey of possibility is actually I've got a real desire and passion to make a bigger impact. Today, you brought something and put it in the middle and went, there you go, that'll help you. Yeah, because you're talking about innovating in terms of solving problems of value.
Yes.
I mean, because everybody's solving a problem people don't perceive as a problem because it just becomes, I don't know, maybe a novelty or
it's fun. It's fun to
fun,
do.
and that's fine. But
and then you move on.
That's why I suppose things like there's all these little fidget things that are coming out now. That people are spinning. I can see them gone with him. It's like a little spark plug. Gone. Yeah. So I really got value from your presentation today in terms of not just as creative co-founder of Big Collaboration, but as a person dealing with my own challenges and opportunities, with the thinking that you've delivered today can impact so many areas. To me, if I've got nothing else this month from my membership or my participation, you've provided that. And generously and with goodwill and what I also got today is I had a better idea of how can I get you involved with projects that I'm involved with.
Good.
That's a massive step for me because I didn't really have that till today.
No, because I'm desperate to collaborate.
Right. Oh, there was another thing about collaboration. We talked about partnerships. Partnerships are, I guess, the relationships. Collaboration is a way of being with each other. Yes. And you said one of the single key things is lack of ego.
Yes.
In collaboration.
Yes.
Because if I want to be right, even if it's that I'm right about how we should progress, or I'm right about the way I see the world from my lens, the whole point is that you see it differently.
Yes.
Jane over there sees it differently. Jill sees it differently, and those different perspectives give us something we could never come up with on our own. We can't because you don't have that. You don't have those lenses. You don't have those prisms.
I'm not saying that innovators have no ego. You talk to people like Steve Jobs, he's got a massive ego.
For sure.
But he can put it aside. He can say, but you know what? I don't have all the answers here. I want to listen to the folks who have got all the answers. And if I have to listen to 50 different people and get 49 different opinions and two are exactly the same, then that's fine. I need to know what other people think. I've got to work with other people because if I don't, I'm going to be that mad inventor who's got this crazy thing in the laboratory that never ever sees the light of day. What is the point?
No, and I think that becomes maybe an exercise in futility, I suppose, on a level.
But we all know them, don't we?
We've got Jill on the line. She's saying changing attitudes, solving impossible problems, dealing with challenges, creating new thinking. Great answers, Ken. I don't know if she's agreeing with me or telling me that's what I should say. Probably a bit of both.
If I can do another very quick shameless plug, my masterclass is about outcome thinking.
Yeah.
And I think if we were to put on the table what outcome are we trying to achieve with this collaboration, and then Jill's been through this actually because she helped me get my teaching qualification by being a part of it.
So she's already been.
She's been through it, but I think it's about solving hairy, intractable problems.
Yeah.
Not thinking about simple things like smart objectives because we want to go way.
We're playing full out. We want to make a global impact. And if someone asked me about B-Collaboration today, one of our guests, and I said to him, well, I hadn't said this for a while. I noticed that I hadn't said this for a while, is I want big collaboration to be in every country, to be centres in every city where people are coming together and collaborating to solve the unsolvable. You know, whether it's our redesigning our energy usage, our transport systems, the education of our next generations, is, I think, people power and taking on the planet, taking on the human experience is where I'm at. Sometimes that feels like a very, very, very big challenge, and then that asks a lot of us as individuals in this context of being in collaboration. How can I take that experience doing that every day or being that every day? And I think today you really nailed some key parts. The other thing I wanted to thank you for, actually I'm going to thank you for, but I'm going to be a bit critical. Why is it taking so long to get you in front of the room? Is this your first time, you know? Why did it take so long?
Because all the slots were filled.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Wasn't that you?
No.
So Jill didn't have to talk you into it?
No. Well, you know, Jill and I have been hassling each other. Where can we get this? And then we tried to get, and then logistics got in the way, and then someone picked.
I understand. So we've got to get this talk scheduled in more, and I think there's also, we are talking about reinventing the status of big collaboration to a more fit for purpose status, which we want to get done. We want to bring more people into the inner circle. I'd really like to invite you into that inner circle.
Happy to be involved.
I'm doing this live without Jill's permission, but I'm sure she'll be fine with it.
Look, happy. I believe in this. Do you know what? I'm really tired of working on my own.
Yeah, you know what? I get that. I mean, I'm not saying I get that about you. Because I don't know enough about you, but that's one of the reasons we set it up, is to be around like-hearted people, grappling and challenging each other and growing with each other's knowledge, so we can achieve those things we want. You don't want to go out without leaving a dent, right?
No.
Well,
no.
We're here anyway. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience? Anyone that might be listening? Fab idea. I hope you mean okay.
So is this the audience of all collaborators, or is it external?
This is going out to a new Facebook group called Journey of Possibility, which is linked to our podcast called Journey of Possibility. We've just done the 5th one, and I'd love to have you in and do we do about an hour to an hour and a half. Real conversation about any subjects, and we go off piece, we come back. It's really dialogue and ideas driven podcast, and I'd like to invite you to that as soon as we get that done. And get the book. What's the name of the book?
Innovate Your Way to Extraordinary.
Innovate Your Way to Extraordinary, and how many? Amazon, I guess.
And it's on Amazon, yeah. Kindle or paperback.
Great, and look up Mark Neild. Okay, Mark, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No. I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I really want to thank you for I don't know. I feel like you made a difference to me today. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Great. So Journey of Possibility, Facebook. You're the first people to see this podcast, live broadcast, whatever it is. You want to know more about what's going on at BCOL, or you want to share your ideas about how you're innovating, your challenges, or if you've got any questions for Mark about innovation, or you want to get hold of his book, I think we're going to put all the links up a bit later. Please ask away, share anything, and find out more about Mark and how he can support you in your business or organisation around innovation. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Need some coffee now.
Go for it.